Central, Honorable Richard Frederick, referenced key points from an article written by Rick Wayne in August 2006. The article highlighted the pivotal role Frederick played in the 2006 general elections, asserting that the United Workers' Party, then led by the ailing political legend Sir John Compton, would not have been a significant contender without Frederick's influence. In the article, it states that in the 2006 general elections, the United Workers' Party, under the near death of legendary John Compton, would not have been even a factor without Richard Frederick. And that disputable truth is that Richard Frederick had not only resuscitated the 1997 devastated UWP, but he also had infused it with fresh blood and a new determination to teach the SLP leader a lesson he still has not gotten over. The popular determination was not inspired by the UWP's slate of candidates. It proceeded from Frederick. However, UWP member Dominic, Fedee, a political figure and critic of Frederick, urged him to present the full context of Rick Wayne's article. Fedee pointed out that the same article also stated, "But let us not be fooled ourselves. The UWP honchos never wanted Richard Frederick aboard their ship." He made the statements during a UWP Sunday, February 16 live stream.
Not Compton, not Osbert Duvane, not any of his fellow candidates. It meant that the candidates of the 2006 election, people like Spider, I'm calling you out. Spider, Guy Joseph, Ezekiel Joseph, Rufus Bousquet, all those guys that ran the 26 election, they did not want you to be a candidate of the United Workers' Party. That's the absolute truth.
Fedee further emphasized that Sir John Compton had reportedly distanced himself from Frederick.
John Compton, prior to the Castries Central by-election, had said, "I don't want to touch him even with a barge pole." You know how long a barge pole is? You know, Richard, when they say in St. Lucia that you have to feed somebody with a long spoon, it means that Sir John took a long piece of bamboo, tied it on a long spoon, and not even by doing that did he want to touch you. That's how far he wanted you from the United Workers' Party.
In response, Frederick accused Fedee of being deceitful, claiming that Fedee has a history of misleading the public.
Sir John knew what Kenny Anthony knew. Sir John knew what Stephenson King also knew. And Sir John knew what Alan Chasney also knew. And Philip J. Pear also knew what Alan Chasney knew. But the difference between Alan Chasney and Philip J. Pear is that Philip J. Pear is a weak leader. Every single prime minister that Richard Frederick has had to work with never wanted him in the government.
Frederick also addressed Fedee's reference to Rainbow's Edge, a book by former Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Kenny Anthony, which compiles speeches from Anthony's early political re-engagement between 1996 and 2001. Frederick clarified that during that period, he was a young lawyer with no involvement in politics, only developing an interest in March 2006.
Thought of politics in March, the very day I went to register as a candidate. I first thought of politics in 2006. But Dominic, Fedee, I was nowhere around the arena, nowhere. Dominic Fedee will take that book and tell Flabbos, Kenny wrote about Richard Frederick, and they clap, unsuspecting how deceitful, how disingenuous, how dishonest this man is about me.
He argued that Fedee's attempt to link him to that era was dishonest, as there was a 5 to 10 year gap between the book's time frame and his own political involvement.
Saying what the man wrote about me, saying what the man wrote in his book was about me. So that may have been I entered politics in 2006. So 1996 is 10 years before I entered politics. 2001 is 5 years before I entered politics. You know? So it's at least between 5 and 10 years. I was nowhere around. Dominic Fedee, Kadi Flabo, hey, Kenny Ekwisa about Richard. Ma pièce côté oliwo. This learning have a to politics.
Honorable Richard Frederick made it clear during a recent episode of his talk show, Can I Help You? Chloe Dantes, NBC Prime.